guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's Pick a Card, we are going to be taking a look at the unexpected blessings, major life changes, and any other surprises that you don't see coming in your near future. But just before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, which is Keen. Keen is a huge network of vetted psychics and spiritual advisors who are there to answer any questions that you may have. I need to update you guys on my Keen journey, okay? So if you guys have been watching my videos regularly, thank you by the way, and you may have seen some of my Keen sponsorships before where I was talking about how accurate my advisor was and how she predicted an exact time frame for me. Well, it happened again. So basically, I'm getting a new job, and when I was looking for this job, I asked my advisor when I would be getting it, and she said late August, and it is now late August, and I just heard like a few days ago that I was getting this job. I'm so impressed. So, okay, let me tell you. The way Keen works is you start by creating an account. It's super easy. You'll be asked some questions about yourself and the type of guidance that you're looking for, and then Keen will match you with the advisors that they think would be the best fit for you. Then you can try out a few different psychics, which I would definitely recommend doing because you want to make sure that you find somebody that you really vibe with and somebody whose style matches yours. There are a few different advisors that I talk to regularly, and what I love about them is that first of all, they are so friendly, they're so kind and caring, and obviously they are very accurate, and they really get to the point with the answers that I need, which is super appreciated. Keen has advisors online at all hours of the day, so no matter where you are, no matter what time it is, there will be someone online available to talk to you, and you can choose to speak on the phone with them or you can chat with them. There are advisors with all different areas of specialty and all different price ranges, so no matter what you guys are looking for, you will definitely be able to find an advisor who meets your needs as well as your budget. And I can say from experience that there are advisors who are super accurate and super friendly who are also in the reasonable price range. Keen is offering their new customers their first 10 minutes for just $1.99, so if you guys are interested in giving them a try, you can use my link trykeen.com/kino. I'll have it up here on the screen, and it will also be linked down below for you. So thank you so much to Keen for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much to you guys for listening to that, and now let's get on to the reading. So in today's Pick a Card, we are going to be taking a look at what you don't see coming in your near future. So we'll see if there are any major life changes, blessings, or unexpected events that you should know about. And if your spirit guides happen to have some advice for you on how you can prepare for these events, we're going to take a look at that as well. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and in each reading I'm going to be using a different tarot deck. As you can see here, this is what the backs of the decks look like, but I'm also going to go through each of them one by one and show you a card from the deck so that you can see what the artwork looks like. And I'm going to be showing you guys the Wheel of Fortune because this is a card all about chance, unexpected events, divine intervention, and I feel like that is just very fitting for the topic of today's reading. So after you see them each one by one, I'll give you a look at them as well, like lined up next to each other, so that you can really get a look and see if one of them is standing out to you more. So without further ado, let's show you each of your options. Number 1 is the Starchild Tarot, and here is the Wheel of Fortune. Number 2 is the Alchemia Tarot, and here is the Wheel of Fortune. Number 3 is the Moonchild Tarot, and here is the Wheel of Fortune. And number 4 is the Serpentfire Tarot, and here is the Wheel of Fortune. So if you guys still need some time to choose, here are all of the Wheel of Fortunes laid out side by side so you can compare them and see which one is calling out to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the Starchild Tarot, this is going to be a reading about what you don't see coming, whether that be a major life change, a blessing, or something you need to look out for. We are going to get to the bottom of it in this reading. And as I mentioned in the intro, we're also going to be getting some advice for your guides on how you can prepare for and deal with these changes. So in the first part of the reading, I'm going to be using the tarot deck that you guys chose, and we are going to find 3 things that you don't see coming. I have been reading reversals in the past couple of readings that I've uploaded, and I kind of liked it. So in this reading, I am going to be keeping the reversals. So let's get right into it and see what is coming up in your near future that you don't expect. So our first card is the 7 of Cups in reverse. Then we have the King of Wands and the 4 of Cups. All right, so starting over here with the 7 of Cups, this is a card that can talk about fantasies, it can talk about illusions, it can also talk about being emotionally overwhelmed or being confused. Emotions are usually running pretty high with this card, and so I feel like the first thing we are seeing here, it has to do with something that you guys feel a strong emotional attachment to, even something that you have fantasized about or daydreamed a lot about. And with that feeling of like illusion and romanticization, I wonder if this is about something that you guys have put on a pedestal at some point. And there could also be some uncertainty or even discouragement here, where it's like this thing that you want so much or are attached to so much seems unattainable, or you're not sure how to go about pursuing it, or if you even can. Like there's too many options to consider, there's too many possible outcomes. And so when you think about actually pursuing this in a practical way, it could tend to get overwhelming. Like there's too many obstacles, there's too many things to think about, but your emotions are really, really there. But with this in the reverse, it almost feels like a disillusionment or breaking of that fantasy. It almost looks to me like the truth about the situation is coming out, and then you realize that it's not really all that, or it's not really what you want ultimately. At the end of the spread here, we have the 4 of Cups, and this can talk about something that you're not seeing, which I think is the truth of this situation. But then it also talks about like boredom, dissatisfaction, a lack of interest. So when I put these together, it's like you looked up to something or someone, or wanted something or someone so badly, to the point where you were really putting them up there, like putting them up on a pedestal. But then when you find the truth of it, you're like, oh, this isn't really the fantasy I thought it was. And you kind of move on from it. So maybe you're not really expecting that your feelings would ever fade for this goal, for this thing, for this person. You're not expecting that, admiration and what would you call it? Starry eyes that you look at this thing with could ever change, that you would ever stop loving or pursuing it. But there's some truth about it that you're not seeing that would make it kind of not boring, but that shine is gone, that romanticization, that fantasy is gone, and you're kind of like, okay, maybe I don't really want this, and I'm gonna move on with my life. And the key to this with the King of Wands in the middle is becoming more interested in yourself than others, becoming the main character of your life, and becoming more interested in your current life than what could be or what you're fantasizing about. Almost like you're realizing that the grass is greener right here. It's not somewhere else. This could even be like you envied somebody a lot and you wanted to be just like them, but when you figure out what they're really all about or what their life really is like, you're like, oh, this is just like everybody else. Okay, then I'll keep putting effort into my own life. I can see how this applies to so many situations. It could be envying somebody. It could be wanting to pursue somebody romantically. It could be idolizing a celebrity. It could be like a goal for your career that you thought was going to be amazing and make all your dreams come true. But as you uncover more about it, you realize that the main character in your story should not be this other thing. It should be you. Like, your life is just as interesting. Your life is just as important. And so you're taking away all of the power from this thing that maybe like you never thought you would get over. And you're like, yeah, I'm over it. I love myself more than this other thing. I don't need this other thing. And I'm going to move on. And I'm going to create my own interesting and amazing life. This is very specific, but an example that just came to my mind is like somebody who was striving for so long to be on a reality TV competition. You know, they're like, this is how I'm going to get discovered. I'm going to show my skills. And they audition and they're so excited and they get in. And then when they get there, they realize that it's all staged. It's all scripted. The staff and the judges aren't as nice and happy as they seem on TV. And they're like, well, shit, you know, I was fantasizing about this for so long and it's all like smoke and mirrors. I feel like you guys have been like blowing something up or putting something really high up there in your fantasies and striving for it to the point where you get kind of emotionally overwhelmed or you get upset that you don't have it. And as this truth is exposed, you realize, like, I could have been happy with myself this whole time, like just enjoying my life and doing my own thing. I never really needed this. Whether it's a love interest, a job, someone you want to be like, a figure you look up to, you're like, no, I'm all that. I'm where it's at. I'm the shit. And this other stuff, like, it's boring. I just mean that you're going to be more interested in your present, in your reality, and what you're doing, and really taking a lot of the emotional importance off of this thing that you've been like striving for and getting very invested in. So this is the first unexpected thing that I see for you guys. So let's move on now to number 2. We have the Moon, 10 of Crystals. This would be the 10 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And then the 8 of Swords. Okay, so this one is about money. What you guys do not see coming is that you are about to come into a lot of money. And the great thing about the 10 of Crystals or the 10 of Pentacles is that it's not just a one-time inflow of abundance. It's not just like a quick, what would you call it? A quick one and done situation. This is a sustainable, reliable, stable, long-term inflow of income, something that you can rely on for a very long time and even plan for your long-term future with. Those of you who have not been able to create a lot of savings up until now, you're going to start to see a very significant amount in your savings account. You may even have enough money that you don't need it right away and you can invest it into things so that it appreciates, it grows in value, and it's going to be there for your long-term future. The 10 of Pentacles is really like you're all set. You're doing very, very well for yourself. All of your material needs are met now, and you're very good well into the future. This is what I see coming for you guys. So it could be that this in itself, like this income coming to you, is the unexpected thing, or it could be the way that it's coming to you is going to be unexpected. So let's look at these two cards here. The 8 of Swords, it talks about our mental blockages. It talks about the ways in which we hold ourselves back. I very often see it in situations of like, you think that you can't do it, but you can, or you think that you're not good enough, but you are. So when it comes to how you make this money, it might be through something that you didn't even think you were that good at. You didn't think you were good enough for. You didn't think you were qualified. It's like you weren't confident enough to go for it. But what you guys don't see is that you're actually very, very good at it, and you're going to be able to make a really good living off of it. And the Moon is kind of the same, because this is also a card that can talk about our illusions. It can talk about a lack of confidence, could even be something that your intuition has been pulling you towards, but your ego is doubting. Because I very often see with the Moon somebody who is highly intuitive and highly psychic, but they tend to doubt it. So it's like your intuition had been calling you towards a certain career, a certain way of expressing yourself, and is maybe even showing you that you'll be very successful. But then your ego or your logical mind comes in, and just out of fear, out of wanting to protect you from the failure that they think is coming, they're like, don't bother, you're not that good at it anyway, you're not going to get noticed, you're not going to get recognized. But I feel like there's an opportunity for you guys coming where you're going to get to see for yourself how good you are at this career, how good you are in this field. For some of you with this moon here, it might even be in the spiritual field. Like if any of you guys have thought of starting to offer your own readings, starting your own spiritual channel like this one, but you feel like, no, I don't know enough about tarot, or I'm not that good at it, this is your sign to go for it, because you're much better at it than you think you are, and it's going to support you very, very generously for a long time. Like maybe you think, oh, I'm just going to start it and see how it goes, and then the Ten of Pentacles is like, we're in this for the long term. This is going to keep growing. This is going to keep supporting you and paying you well. Of course, it doesn't have to be a career related in spirituality, but I just thought with the moon here, it could be very likely that this applies to many of you. But this will be something that you kind of doubt yourself about. You're like, no, I couldn't possibly have a career in this. I couldn't possibly make money. But you very much can. So I guess if I could give you guys advice for how you can prepare for this career opportunity, it would be to work on your confidence, to start seeing yourself as very capable, very talented, very interesting. And I feel like that's kind of starting here. Like you're starting to get your mojo here when you are putting yourself on a pedestal, when you're becoming the main character, and you're like, okay, I have something to say, I have something to show off, and people want to hear it. So confirm to yourself, I am talented, I am capable, I am interesting, I am worthy. Just repeating that to yourself or writing it down is really enough. And it might seem like crap at first if you don't believe it, but through repetition, you will suggest that to your subconscious mind. And this is going to assure that when this opportunity comes to you, you take it, like you say yes to it. You recognize that this is a beautiful chance for you to expand and recognize it as yours, basically. Yes, so this is an opportunity to make money, but you'll need to be confident to take it. So now for number 3 of what you don't see coming, we have the Knight of Crystals in reverse. I was just about to flip it over, and then I remembered that we're doing the reversals today. I hope I didn't flip over any of these. Then we have the Page of Crystals in reverse. So again, these are the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is about something that is not progressing, something that is not being worked on, something that is being inconsistent, and it could be with regards to a skill or career or studies. Okay, so this is showing me something that you guys have left on the back burner, and I think it's with regards to a skill, like something that you used to study, something that you used to practice, that you used to put regular efforts into, and you kind of fell off the wagon, you kind of let it go. The Knight of Crystals, generally in the upright, this would show like slow and steady, consistent progress. You're working really hard on something, you're dedicated. So in the reverse, I'm kind of seeing it as like inconsistency or a lack of progress or just giving up altogether. And then the Page of Crystals in reverse here, this is a card that talks about, you know, our skills, our projects. And so in the reverse, I'm kind of seeing these together as like a skill that's been put on the back burner. You know, crystals or pentacles, they are the slow and steady energy. The same way here, we saw your money accumulating steadily over the long term. I feel like this is a skill that you have to be consistent, and you see improvements not so much in short term, but through consistent, dedicated efforts over the months or the years or whatever it is, you will see yourself improve. And I don't know if it was like due to some impatience on your end, like you didn't really see yourself immediately improving and then you got discouraged, or it could just be that life got in the way, like your schedule got too busy, you had to care for other people, maybe you were dealing with like some mental health issues that you had to take care of your well-being in that sense first, which is all completely understandable. But what I feel like you guys don't see coming with this Ace of Swords in reverse is that there is going to be, and maybe it's actually related to this here, there's going to be some breakthrough opportunity for you guys related to this skill. So this is like Spirit's way of gently encouraging you guys to get back on the wagon and start putting more efforts into it. Maybe a lot of you guys let go of it because you were like, I'm never going to get good at it anyway, or it's never going to be useful, or you just lost interest or something, and sort of dropped it. But Spirit's like, no, we're going to give you an opportunity to use this. So what you should do in the meantime to prepare is to get back on this skill, to keep working on it. I'm thinking of like, I don't know, let's say you were learning a language and then you weren't really improving, and then you kind of just like fell off the wagon with studying. But then suddenly you get the opportunity to travel to the country where the language is spoken, or meet somebody from that country who's going to be like really important in your life. Or maybe you're a musician and you haven't practiced your instrument in a long time, but then you get a chance to perform somewhere or something like that. And you're like, damn it, I should have been practicing because now I don't feel ready. It's like this kind of thing. Whatever has been left on the back burner, Spirit is saying like this skill is going to become useful very soon. You know, maybe it's like something that you can put on your resume because there's a job opportunity coming up. Don't drop this skill. This is what I see here with the Knight of Crystals and the Page of Crystals in reverse. You may have already decided it's not going to amount to anything. You may have already decided I'm not good at it, I'm not going to improve, but it's not true. You just need a little bit of patience and a little bit of consistency, so that when this breakthrough comes, you're actually ready to take it and go for it. So very gentle encouragement to get to it, to get to work, so that you can reap all of the rewards that are coming to you. Okay, so this is what I am seeing for the 3 unexpected events that you guys don't see coming. So now we're going to take a look at some oracle cards for further messages and any other guidance that you guys should know about. So from our spellcasting oracle, we have dreams. So I am taking this first and foremost to mean like our aspirational dreams, who we want to be, what we want to accomplish. This is definitely a message from your guides that all of your dreams can come true, and they really want to encourage you to have the confidence and the drive to make your dreams happen. Of course, this can also be talking about our sleeping dreams, so you might want to pay attention to those coming up in the near future, because they could be telling you about something that's going to happen very soon, like prophetic dreams. If you're dreaming about somebody, it may be that they're going to become an important person in your life very soon, or even dreaming about somebody you haven't met yet who's going to come into your life, or just whatever you see yourself doing in your dreams. Pay attention, because that can be a sign. And dreams are a great place for your intuition to talk to you, especially if you have your logical mind getting in the way when you're awake, like you have those fears and doubts seeping in. When you're in a dream state, that part of your brain is like turned off, and your intuition can suggest things to you more easily. So I feel like your dreams are going to be a place coming up where your higher self is talking to you a lot, and especially confirming to you that your dreams can and will come true, and giving you advice on how to go about it. From this is the Celestial Bodies Oracle, we have Void of Course. This is very interesting because this is referring to the Void of Course moon. And for those of you who are not familiar, the Void of Course moon represents a moon that is unaspected. It's not making any aspects with other planets in the sky. And it shows a time where things are not going to come through. Maybe many of you guys are familiar with the Moonology Oracle deck. Many readers use it. I use it a lot. And the Void of Course card says nothing will come from this situation. So that's kind of the meaning of a Void of Course moon. And I feel like this is what your ego tends to tell you when it comes to practicing your skills, putting putting yourself out there, pursuing your dreams, you're like, oh, nothing's gonna come from it anyway. Like I'm not that good at it, or whatever it is that you tell yourself. It's like you're convincing yourself that this plan or this dream is void of course. And if I'm being honest, it could be true if you continue to doubt yourself, and if you continue to leave your practices behind and leave the nurturing of your natural talents on the back burner and not pay attention to them. It could be true, because when it comes to manifesting our dreams, it's very much a two-way street with the universe. The universe can orchestrate everything in our favor to bring the opportunities to us, but if we don't prepare for them, and if we don't have the confidence to believe that they're ours, we're just gonna pass by those opportunities or reject them. Now, the universe is pretty stubborn when it comes to bringing us our dreams, so she will try again and again and again, but you will need to be ready. I guess I shouldn't say that nothing will come of it, but it's like the longer you continue to doubt yourself, it could be that your dreams are delayed. And so Spirit is saying to you guys, like, now is as good a time as any to get back on that wagon and to start believing in yourself. And even if you don't right away, with patience and consistency, I promise you will start to see yourself getting better at what you do, and then you'll become more and more confident. But you get better through doing. And even the people that you have looked up to, I guarantee there was one point where they were not as polished, they were not as good or natural, effortless seeming at what they do. There was probably a time where they were very clumsy and they made mistakes, but you just don't you don't see that. You know, maybe it has to do with the Seven of Cups, like a person or people that you've looked up to and you thought, like, they're perfect, they're so good at it, I could never be that good at it. But you don't see all of this crap and effort after effort that they went through to get there, and the doubts that they went through, just like you are now. There's nothing special about anyone else that makes them unlike you when it comes to achieving your dreams, and you can do it too. It just takes a little bit of patience and self-belief. So whether or not this situation is void of course, or how long it stays void of course, I feel like it's really in your hands, because the universe is already working for you. So connect to that intuition, pay attention to what your intuition is telling you in your dreams. If you see dreams of your success, of your blessings, of your soul unions, that's your higher self trying to talk to you. That's your higher self trying to confirm to you that there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no reason to hold yourself back, because you can and will have everything that you want. From the, oh my gosh, this is the Soul's Journey lesson cards. Look, fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So definitely I see that fear is holding this group back, whether it's like fear of failure or fear of judgment, or even like a fear of being wrong. I have definitely experienced this before, and I think many of us experience it on our spiritual journey, where our intuition is telling us to go in a certain direction, that it's going to make us happy and successful, and we're so afraid of being wrong, as in, that wasn't my intuition, that was just my wishful thinking, you know? What if we try and fail? Then what was that thing telling us we were going to be successful? It was just our imagination, and we weren't connected to anything after all. So it could be a fear of being wrong in that sense as well. Now, having fear is very, very normal, and I think that the more we care about something, the more fear we're going to have. It's just a natural part of being human, and especially I have found this for myself and for others in my life. I feel like we tend to get the most scared when we're just at the precipice of achieving everything that we want. It's like getting cold feet before a wedding or something. It's like right before your moment when you're gonna have everything that you were so happy and looking forward to. That's when you get scared. That's when you get nervous. So if you guys are feeling really nervous about your dreams, it could be because you're on the precipice of that opportunity coming to you and of you making all your dreams come true. And Spirit is saying with this card that this is our test. This is our test to see if we can value what we love and value ourselves so much that we are willing to overcome this fear and not let it not let it talk us down. Is that the right word? Talk us out. Not let it talk us out of it or scare us away from what we want. So it's very, very normal to have fear. You don't need to feel like guilty for having fear or anything like that. But it's important to be able to observe the fear without giving too much power to it and recognizing like, okay, I'm afraid because this matters so much to me and I'm worried about this, this, and this. But I still have to go for it. I cannot let this fear take over and let it win because like there's too much at stake. These are my dreams. This is my beautiful future. And so your final card, which is the Crystal Angels Oracle deck, is Emerald with Ceremonies and Celebrations. It's a time of important life passages, such as weddings, birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. Yes, so I think many of you guys who chose this reading, you are definitely like on the brink of making all of your dreams come true. It's the message of important life passages that is making me think this. It's like you guys are about to step into a new chapter in your life. And when I think about birthdays, graduations, these are events that mark the ending of a chapter and the start of a new one. So it's almost like you guys are going through a graduation, so to speak, in your life where you're leaving behind this old chapter of fear. What would you call it? Fear-induced inaction, like inaction as a result of fear. That's what I was trying to say. And like passivity and this kind of sense of defeat, and you're moving into an empowered and confident and dedicated chapter. There's also a message about weddings here. So could be that you guys are coming into an important soul union, and that's something that's unexpected for you. We do have Emerald here, which is related to the heart chakra. So you guys are definitely pursuing something that you love, and there could be like a love connection that is going to come in as well, especially if you guys are not expecting that. Okay, so in the final part of this reading, we're going to take our trusty tea leaf cards and see if there are any other final messages for you guys. All right, that was very fast. Ooh, look, we have egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. And isn't that exactly what we've been talking about this whole time? We have dog close up, pleasure with a close friend. This could be a message for you guys to open up more to your friends, rely on them more. They will keep you on track. They will keep you emotionally supported. Could also be a message of like a soul union, like you have a new close friend or a new best friend who is coming into your life. And with this dog, surely they will be incredibly loyal to you. So if at the time you're watching this reading, like you don't have somebody that you can open up to about these things, somebody to confide in and turn to for support, this is probably an indication that you will come into union with this very loyal close friend soon. And I want to get one more for you guys. Look, we have chain of events that will affect your life. So I feel like this chain starts with you guys when you start putting in the effort to brush up on your skills, when you start believing in yourself and putting yourself out there more. Again, you may not see the results right away, but you are initiating this chain. And I promise you guys that over time, one thing will lead to another until you are exactly where you want to be. Okay, so these are all the messages that I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the Alchemia Tarot, this is going to be your reading all about what you don't see coming, whether it be major life changes or blessings or something to look out for. We are going to get to the bottom of it in this reading, and we're also going to bring you some advice on how you can prepare for it and just some general advice from your spirit guides. So we are going to start off with the tarot, and in this part of the reading we will find 3 unexpected things that are coming to you. I am going to be including reversals in this reading because I've done it for the past couple readings and I just enjoyed it. So we are going to be taking reversals today, and let's get right into it. So the first thing that you don't see coming, we have the 2 of Swords, Page of Cups in reverse, and the 3 of Wands in the upright. Okay, there is a specific message coming through, first of all, that any of you guys who are desiring to travel or who have some travel plans that are up in the air, they are going to come through, so you will be able to go on the trip. Maybe this is going to resonate, especially if you're watching in the year 2021, where things are still kind of uncertain. With this 2 of Swords here, this is about being stuck between 2 different ways, 2 different paths. And I feel like many of us are feeling like this right now, with different news coming out every single day. Like, there's this restriction, now the restriction is lifted, you're allowed to do this, wait, no, you're not allowed to do this. It's like every day we get some new information, and it can be very uncertain if we're going to be able to go to the places that we want to, or go and see the people that we want to. And I feel like this is a confirmation message for you that everything is going to be okay. With this 3 of Wands here, you will get to go wherever you want to go. You will get to travel. And so with the Page of Cups in the reverse, I feel like the advice for you from your spirit guides is to not get too much in your emotions, as there continues to be this back and forth and rules are changing and new information is coming out. It's going to be a while of uncertainty before things settle. So if you can keep your feelings at bay or stop from getting in your head, it's going to make this process a lot smoother. And just know that at the end, you are free to go and do whatever it is that you want or need to do. So that was the first specific message that comes out here. Another interpretation that I see here for an unexpected event in your life, it has to do with an opportunity that is coming to you in your career or in your studies. Especially if it involves moving away or like traveling to a new place. So many of you guys are going to get the opportunity or the offer that you want in your career or studies. Maybe some of you guys are like studying abroad, or you're moving somewhere for work. But I feel like what you don't see coming is that when this opportunity comes to you, you might actually start to second guess it with this 2 of Swords over here, because like we just mentioned, it's about this like fork in the road, being stuck between 2 ways. And even though you may have felt so certain about going, I feel like when it actually comes, you'll start to get that like, oh, maybe I want to stay. And with the Page of Cups in reverse, what I'm seeing is that the reason for this is because of your emotional attachment. So you could feel suddenly feel very sentimental of your hometown or of your current workplace, or there may be some loved ones that you would have to leave behind with this Page of Cups in reverse. You thought that you were going to be okay because you're so excited for this new chapter, but then when it's really here and you think of leaving these people behind, whether it's like friends, family, a crush, a significant other, or even just your coworkers, there might be some sentimental feeling about like leaving behind the people that you've been with day to day. And that might be kind of unexpected. Maybe it's like you never felt any kind of special way about your class or your boss or your coworkers, but once it's time to leave, suddenly you're like, oh, you know what? I'm actually gonna miss you. I'm actually gonna miss our small talks, and I feel really grateful for how much you have helped me. So those sort of unexpected, like, sentimental feelings might start to come up for you, because the Page of Cups is really like a sweet and sensitive, it's very cute energy, very emotional, very sentimental like that. So that just might be something that like you were thinking, I'm gonna get the heck out of here as soon as I can. But then you start to feel held back a little bit, you start to get nostalgic. So just be aware of that. I will say, with the 3 of Wands in the upright and the Page of Cups being the one in reverse, your advice is to try to keep those feelings at bay. Like, you shouldn't stay behind just for those reasons, because we all have to move on at some point. We all have to meet our opportunities and pursue our dreams at some point. You can see the sun is just coming up on the horizon, and I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying to you that the best is yet to come. I know, like, your heartstrings can be tugged at to stay where you are, but it's on the other side of the horizon where your growth and your full potential and all of your dreams and aspirations lie. So it's okay to be emotional, to shed some tears. It's okay to miss people. But don't be fooled by this feeling of indecision or second guessing, because I feel like where your happiest future truly lies is if you go and chase that opportunity, you go to a new place, you leave where you currently are. So it just might be the emotion that is unexpected, or maybe this opportunity is actually coming to you guys sooner than you expected, and so that's why you don't see it coming. There's actually one other interpretation that I'm getting from this when I look at it, and that is starting to have second thoughts about a relationship or a love interest. I feel like it would be romantic. It kind of feels like a crush or a situationship kind of thing for many of you, but it could be about a friendship as well, or even like a current, could be a current partner maybe, but it's like you're starting to get doubts or second guess about your decision regarding a relationship. And this could go either way. So like, if you guys were really, really fixated on someone, really sure about wanting to pursue them and wanting to be with them, you could start to second guess that and think, oh, maybe I actually want to move on from them. Or the other way around, like you were sure you didn't want to be with someone and you wanted to move on and this wasn't going to happen. But then you start to think, but I missed them. Maybe I do want to be with them. And I'm really not sure. I'm not being shown like one way or the other is right. I will say, if you're starting to second guess, you might want to consider the other option that is coming to you, because in this Two of Swords, you know, he's holding both of them up. He even looks kind of peaceful. And it kind of feels to me like either option is okay, either option is viable. So if you're starting to think, oh, maybe I actually want to move on, or maybe I want to go back, I think that's valid. I think it's worth exploring. There's probably a reason I'm not being shown which way you should go when it comes to the relationship, because of course that will be very much up to you and how you're feeling. But if you start to get those second thoughts, maybe just sit with them for a bit and see why they're there. All right, so this is all I see for our first row of cards. So we're going to move on now to the second one. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, again, there's like multiple things that I can see for this. One of them is, we'll start with like an inward change for you guys. I feel like you guys are going to start to protect your energy a lot more, and you're going to stop giving away your energy to people who don't reciprocate. You're going to stop trying to prove yourself or justify yourself to people who wouldn't even make an effort to try to understand you. And you're going to start giving a lot of your energy back to yourself. So this is kind of like a healing journey that I see here, where maybe in the past you guys have felt like the only way you could be worthy was to be like of practical use to somebody. You see this Ace of Pentacles as like handing over something of value. So it's like, I need to be helpful to people, I need to support people or give something to them in order to be worthy. And with this in reverse, I feel like this is stopping, and you're seeing your inherent value with this Queen of Cups here. Like, I don't need to overextend myself for people who wouldn't do the same. I don't need to be like serving others in order to be valuable. I'm just valuable because I'm me, and you're really starting to feel like this queen. And I feel like with the Five of Wands in reverse, it's like you won't even feel guilty about it, because I'm seeing the Five of Wands as an internal conflict, and then in the reverse, this internal conflict is being put to rest. So we don't have these conflicting feelings where I know that I should be respecting my boundaries, but I feel so guilty, or no, maybe I'll just make an exception and help this one person even though I don't have the energy in me. Because it's really hard, I think, at first when you start to assert your boundaries, you feel mean or you feel selfish, and there can really be an inner conflict to there. But I think what is unexpected here is that it's actually going to feel very good to start prioritizing yourself. You're actually not going to feel this conflict. It's going to be like a no-brainer. Like, of course, I should put myself first. Of course, I'm worthy just as I am, without having to constantly give to people. So maybe the unexpected thing is that this healing journey is coming through faster than you guys had expected for yourself, or the unexpected thing is that you don't feel any inner conflict or guilt about it. It's just it's very easy for you guys. And then it's funny, I'm getting so many like multiple interpretations for these, which wasn't happening in pile one. So I guess your guides just have a lot of messages for you, and they're being very efficient. So the other message I have, it has to do with your career, with the way that you make money. Perhaps many of you guys have had some conflict when it comes to whether you should stay where you are or pursue something different, or which career is right for you. And I feel like what we see here is you're starting to prioritize your emotional fulfillment rather than like making money, rather than the security aspect of it. The Ace of Pentacles is like security, stability, money, of course. And in the reverse, I feel like we're taking the value off of that. And it becomes very easy to choose things that bring you joy and that fulfill you emotionally, and that, you know, you really feel like you're helping others in the way that you want to. So it's like you're pulling away from the material aspect. Those of you who have had lack mentalities, or you've had kind of unhealthy relationship with money and productivity and things like that, I feel like you're going to be overcoming that, and you're going to be able to step into your Queen of Cups energy, where you're making decisions based on your heart and based on your emotions, and you don't feel bad about it. And maybe this even ties into what we saw before about you guys like feeling like I don't have to prove myself or explain myself anymore. Like, if people don't understand your choice to do that, then that's okay. And you don't have to explain to them or get their approval or whatever it is. So some of you guys might be leaning more towards a career that is, it's less like stable income. It could be kind of unstable at first, or maybe you're actually going to be lower income for a while, but you believe in what you're doing so much, and you know that it's going to grow, and it just brings you so much joy that you're like, I'm not going to sacrifice my joy for security anymore. And who knows, like this one thing that's bringing me security now, it might not bring me that forever. So, you know, you might as well do what you love. And I feel like this is the way that you guys are going to be thinking. So I guess that's another like internal change, but there could be like a career change happening here where you're moving away from something that you were doing like just for a paycheck, and now your emotions are really in it. And you're not going to live out of like a fear of lack anymore. Okay, so for the final row, we have the High Priestess, Page of Wands, and the King of Wands. Ooh, all right. So very clearly what I see with the High Priestess is that you guys are about to either start to tap into your psychic abilities if you haven't already, or you're having a serious upgrade in your psychic abilities. The High Priestess is the most psychic of the whole tarot deck. And it's funny because in a reading I was doing recently, I was like, I'm pretty sure she's the most psychic, but maybe that's just me. And then I was watching, I think think it was Rosology's video, and she said the same thing. And I was like, okay, Rosology knows her stuff. So if she says that the High Priestess is very psychic, then she is. And I think it was that she was the most psychic. So yes, basically that whole ramble was to tell you guys that you are likely a lot more psychic than you think. So what you don't see coming might be that all of a sudden a psychic ability seems to just manifest out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden you start having clairvoyant visions, or all of a sudden you know what's going to happen before it happens. And it's like, maybe you've always struggled to connect to your intuition. This has never happened for you anymore, but it's like all of a sudden you're just like right on the money every time. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's that you can predict future events. And you can see things through clairvoyance, whether you're awake, whether you're asleep. It's like you're very tapped in, you know what's going on. And there was something, oh yes, there's another thing I wanted to say. If you guys watch a lot of readings, and you've been kind of like hit and miss with the piles that you choose, I feel like you're gonna be led to the readers who resonate with you, and it's like you pick the right one every time. So you're gonna start getting messages that are really valuable and insightful to you every single time. It's like you're on the bullseye, you're on the money 100% of the time. And you're feeling super powerful, you're feeling like you know it all, and if there's something that you don't know, you can access it, you can tap into it. So you're like this powerful psychic high priestess. And then moving on here with the Page of Wands and the King of Wands, this is actually really sweet because you see how the Page of Wands is like this young person. The King of Wands looks a little bit older. Actually, the King of Wands in this deck makes me think of like a grandfather or some like loving father figure. And the way they came out is like the King of Wands is looking at the page, almost like watching over him. And they're both wands, so they are, you know, of the same, what would you say, of the same family, cut from the same cloth. And I feel like what this is illustrating here is a relationship with a spirit guide, or with a deceased loved one, or with an ancestor who is watching over you. So essentially, you are this Page of Wands here, and the King of Wands is like watching over you. And so maybe what you're not expecting is that you are going to make contact with this King of Wands. This King of Wands is going to introduce themselves to you, or maybe they have been trying to for quite some time, but because your psychic abilities have now heightened so much, you're able to visually see them, you're able to meet them in your dreams and have like coherent and meaningful conversations with them. And you're able to really develop a relationship with them from the other side. This is a very specific message, but if there are any of you who had a family member who passed away when you were very, very young, and you never really got to meet them or get to know them, maybe they passed away when you were kind of too young to remember them, it's like you will get to meet them and you'll get to learn from them all of those things that you couldn't do when you were still such a young age, especially if you guys have felt sadness about that, or wish that you could have known them. This is going to be really, really nice for you guys. And just know that even if your time together on earth was short, they still love you so much and they haven't left you behind. Their role in your 3D life may have been a short one, but their role from the other side has been consistent, has been very significant, and they've just been sending you so much love and guidance this whole time. And so maybe this is the moment where you're finally realizing that, or you get to, I was gonna say meet them in person, but I guess see them as if it were in the flesh, and you know, thank them and return that love. And I'm getting kind of emotional as I talk about this, but yes, you're being connected to, I feel, rather than a spirit guide, it's like an ancestor or a deceased loved one who is helping you out a lot, especially when it comes to pursuing your dreams. This Page of Wands here, he's like, you know, he's still young and anything is possible for him. That's kind of like the vibe of this card. He can embark on any journey that he wants to. He can achieve anything. And he's like a free spirit who's just full of passion and excitement. So I think this relative is saying to you right now, like, you're at the precipice of a very exciting journey where you're going to be learning a lot about yourself. And they will help you with whatever it is that you need guidance with along the way. Like this, because they've already gone through it, they already have their wand and they're sitting proudly. Maybe you guys actually have very, very similar life purposes or life paths, and your journeys will kind of mirror each other. And so they're going to be like your mentor and help you through this time. Oh, that's so sweet. So unexpected breakthrough in psychic abilities and making contact with a crossover loved one who is very similar to you. All right, so this concludes the tarot part of the reading. Now we're just going to take a look at a few oracle cards for any additional messages or guidance that your guides would like you to know. So from the Spellcasting oracle deck, we have Strength. Maybe some of you guys are a fire sign, because there was the Page of Wands here, which I definitely felt represented you. I did think this represented you as well, which is water, and the High Priestess is also water. Okay, so maybe fire and water is significant for you guys. But I was just thinking of the Strength card in tarot, which is related to the sign of Leo. And so I thought that maybe that sign is significant. Maybe it's like the zodiac sign of this King of Wands who has crossed over. But this is simply a message for you guys of how strong you are. And if you if you set your mind, not stick your mind, if you set your mind to the things that you want and you remain persistent and you keep fighting even when things get tough, this is your promise. This is your promise that everything is going to come through for you in the end. There's a butterfly here, which lets you know that a transformation is assured in your life. The word breakthrough, I think, is significant for you guys. Like if you've been going through a rut or going through a time of confusion, there is going to be a breakthrough where suddenly blockages are removed and things start to move quickly and easily for you. So just hang in there. That's like really the strength message. Hang in there. And again, like don't let your emotions get the better of you. I know, like, when the circumstances are volatile, our emotions can also be volatile. But the Strength card says, even when life around you is turbulent, you stay like a rock. You stay like a statue and stay firm and don't move. And with time, the storm will pass and you will keep moving on. So be strong, really. Like that's just the message of this card. I'm also looking at the little lion cubs, which is just so cute. And a message that came to me is that what some of you guys might not see coming is a new pet in your life, like a new puppy or kitten, or it can really be anything, who will be like a really, really sweet companion to you. Or some kind of addition to your family, because this Leo energy can also talk about children, but just because there were these cute little babies here, I thought it might be like kittens or something. Okay, so the next card from the Celestial Bodies Oracle is Third House. All right, so the third house talks about communications. Another unexpected event for you guys might be hearing from somebody that you haven't heard from in a long time. Sort of the idea that's coming to me is like an old friend reaching out, or it could be an old flame, an old lover reaching out. If that's something that you guys are hoping for. I am getting the sense that it's going to be good news. So whoever's reaching out, like they're bringing good news to you, or you guys are going to be reconnecting and deepening your bond together. Also, what you guys might not expect is that people are talking about you very positively behind your back. So if you've been worried about what people think about you, like at work or amongst your acquaintances or even in your family, I want to assure you that like all of the words that are being said about you when you're not there are positive. Like people think really highly of you, and the buzz surrounding you is very, very good. Also, some of you guys might suddenly, if you're not already, you might suddenly be called to start writing, whether that's to start writing in a journal or to start writing a book or to start publishing a blog or start a social media account or something like that, or even speaking, like getting your thoughts out there, speaking in front of people, making videos, whatever it might be. With this communication, I'm also thinking like self-expression. You might suddenly be very called to that, or if this is something you're already doing, like you're already a writer, you're already a creator, I feel like something is definitely going to be taking off in that area of your life, and there's going to be a lot of positive buzz around what you are doing. From the The Soul's Journey Lesson cards. Sometimes I call it Soul's Lesson, but Soul's Journey Lesson cards. We have Envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So I feel like a lot of this reading is talking about your personal growth and your healing journey. And I think that in this next chapter of your life, you're genuinely going to stop comparing yourself to other people. This strength and Leo energy, it also talks about confidence. And I feel like with the third house as well, you guys were really starting to be proud of your self-expression, embracing your uniqueness and embracing what you love. And you're gonna realize that you wouldn't rather have any other life, even if your life is hard sometimes, and you know, you look next door, you look to the next person and it seems like their life is so easy. You're really gonna come to this place where you would not trade your experiences for the world. You're gonna start to see the value in everything that you've gone through, and you're starting to develop like what would you call it? Uninhibited self-love. And at the same time, I think it's natural to envy other humans. I don't know if we can ever completely get rid of it, but like we saw with this Five of Wands in reverse, this is about you guys not feeling guilty about how you feel anymore. So even if sometimes you feel a little twinge of like jealousy or something like that, you're not going to like beat yourself up about it. I think it's natural to look at, oh, that person's doing well and want what they want, but you're coming to a place where you can observe that emotion, let it pass, and at the end of the day, just be grateful for where you are and who you are and what life you're living. And I think that's a huge sign of maturity as well as inner peace. And so for your Crystal Angels Oracle card, we have multifaceted. There are many layers and dimensions to the situation or person you're asking about. I kind of feel like this is a continuation of the thought that we saw with envy, where you realize that it's not useful or even it's not accurate to envy other people, because everybody's life is so complicated. Like everybody has so many aspects of their life and so much going on, and they may be doing really well over here but struggling greatly over there. And of course, we only see the parts of somebody's life that they choose to share, but the reality is usually that it's a lot more, I was going to say messy. Well, yeah, life is messy. It's a lot more complex and messy than people might let on. So it's not really accurate to envy somebody when you can't see the full picture. And the full picture is just too complex and too elaborate to even grasp. So at the end of the day, you might as well just be happy with yourself and not worry about what everybody else is doing. There's too many layers, like ogres and onions. All right, so just to finish off the reading now, we're going to take some tea leaf oracle cards and see what your final messages are. Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. Is that the love interest who's behaving stupidly? Or is it you for not realizing how awesome you are? We have, sunrise. Okay, there's a lot falling out. Sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. So reminds me of what we were talking about with the third house and with the Page of Wands as well, where even the Three of Wands, like you guys are really on the brink of an exciting new chapter. You might be very creatively inspired during this time. I just noticed that this image is mirroring the Three of Wands, where we spoke about the sun on the horizon. Look, it's like the same image. So definitely the future is very bright for you guys. You're going to be feeling very creatively inspired. And part of that might be because you're not acting like motivated by money or motivated by material things anymore. Maybe that's what your guides are saying is stupid. Like, it's one thing to want security in your life, but when you're so attached to like making more money and what if I lose my money, to the point where you are frozen out of taking risks and being creative and freeing yourself, well, that's just a life that is void of joy. And with this sun on the horizon here, and with this King of Wands watching over you, who's like the king of passion, the king of inspiration, the king of creativity, we really, really want you to live a life that you enjoy. A life of security with no joy, it's just a secure life. And what is that good for if you can't have passion, if you can't feel good and feel excited? We have the Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Okay, this reminds me of the boundaries talk that we were having. This is like a warning for you guys to not give in to pressure from what other people ask of you, or from what other people expect of you. Muddled, unclear thinking. Judging from what we have seen throughout this reading, I do feel that you are coming out of this forest. You are coming out of your period of muddled and unclear thinking, because you're starting to see clearly what it is that you want to do, and you're starting to commit to it. Maybe this is a moment where you come out of this forest and you're like, holy crap. And you look back on your past self who was weak in their boundaries, who had like a low self-esteem and felt that they need to prove themselves or be useful to others. Maybe you easily caved to pressure or caved to other people's will or other people's requests. And so when you get out of this forest, you can look back and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a backwards way of thinking. That was such a muddled way of thinking. So I really think this card is like you coming out of it. And even like the view that we see here, it's like you're standing outside of the forest and looking in, like remembering what you've been through and where you came from. And then look, what the last card is, compliments from an admirer. So you see, people are talking very, very positively about you. And I think people really look up to you. And this communication that we saw coming in with the third house, it might be from an admirer who's like, hey, I just want to say, like, I think what you're doing is really cool. I feel like you are an inspiration to people. With the Three of Wands, with the Page of Wands, you are an inspiration. And the same way like you have looked up to and envied others, people are looking up to you. People are wanting to be like you and have a life like you. So it's all, what is it? It's all relative. It's all like our subjective perspective. And you'll realize that, you know, it's useless to wish you were in someone else's shoes. Life is it's too complicated to say like, I want to be them. I want to have their life, because we just don't know. We just don't know. So all you can do is make the best of your life, which you are, which you definitely are. Okay, so these are all the messages that I have for you guys. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number threes. So if you guys chose the Moonchild Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about what you don't see coming, whether it be a major life change, a blessing, or something to look out for. We are going to get to the bottom of it in this reading, and we're also going to get some general advice for you and messages from your spirit guides, anything they would like you to know. Just before we get into the cards, I did want to mention something. So obviously I light this candle before I start filming, and this flame was behaving like distinctly differently from the first two piles, so I took notice of it. While the first two piles, the flame like grew right away and it was, you know, popping and going crazy. This one started as a very, very small flame, and then it slowly grew a little bit more, and then finally it started crackling and really shining confidently. So I don't know if maybe this is like a metaphor for what your path has been like, that it starts off very, very slow until finally you have your breakthrough moment. But I just thought I would mention it in case any of you guys have been feeling disheartened or frustrated with like the progression of things in your life. If you feel like things are moving slowly or you're not getting enough, maybe that was a message to give it a little bit of time, because eventually your flame will be burning brightly and proudly. Yes, so I'm gonna start with the tarot cards here, and we're gonna take a look at 3 things that you guys don't see coming, and then we will move on to the additional messages and advice part. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you guys don't see coming, wow, so we have the Chariot. Oh my gosh, the 6 of Wands. We're off to an amazing start. And the 7 of Pentacles. Wow, so yeah. All right, the Chariot and the 6 of Wands are like amazing cards to get together, because this is like a huge and very loud and clear message of major success coming to you guys. And when it comes to the Chariot, this is generally something that escalates very, very quickly, like having a huge surge in your growth or a huge surge in your progress. So the Chariot is a card about victory. It's a card about making huge leaps forward. And it's also a card about recognition. So not only are you guys finding a great success in what you do, but you're getting a lot of credit for it. You're getting a lot of appreciation. You're getting a lot of monetary compensation for it. And with the 6 of Wands right next to this, this is a card about being a leader, a card about having admirers. It can also be a card about having a following or even being famous. So it's like whatever victory we're seeing here, you're going to become very well known for it and actually have a lot of admirers. Some of you might be building a platform or building your following. And this likely has to do with your passion, with your dream career. If any of you guys are creatively inclined, or you've been trying to get like a personal project off the ground, this is a really, really good sign that it's going to go amazingly. And it's funny because when I saw these 3 cards together, I feel like this is exactly what the candle was trying to say, because our final card here is the 7 of Pentacles, which generally does indicate like a pause in action, but the reassuring message that your seeds have been planted well. And as long as you've planted your seeds well and taken care of them, there's nothing to worry about, even if they're taking a long time to bloom and blossom. You guys might know in the traditional imagery of the 7 of Pentacles, we see a man who is leaning against his shovel, and he's like waiting for his plant to grow. Like he's planted these seeds and he's wondering when they're going to bear fruit. And so sometimes with the 7 of Pentacles, there's a feeling of like being a late bloomer or wondering if your efforts were going to be worth it. So like we were even shown with the candle, this is a flame that started very small and it wasn't really growing. And I was even wondering if it was just going to completely go out, because my candles do that sometimes. So along this journey, you guys might have felt that things really weren't progressing. You might have wondered if you have planted your seeds properly. Like, did I set the intention properly? Is my manifestation actually on its way? Or did I accidentally dig it up? Did I do something to get in the way? And as you watch like the other plants around you blooming, it can add to that feeling that you did something wrong. Like, when is my turn coming? When is my time coming? And so that might be the energy that you guys were in. And maybe many of you had kind of given up on this going anywhere. So I think what you don't see coming is this explosive success, this huge victory in your career, this huge victory in your creative or passion project or your business, whatever you were really passionate about and put a lot of your energy into, but maybe recently we're starting to feel like it was all in vain. Like, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. This is taking way too long. It shouldn't be like this, but your moment is coming. This is like your big break, or your blowing up moment is coming to you. And I'm also getting a message of like the efforts that you put in the past are going to like come back to pay off to you. So an easy example I can give is like when a YouTuber uploads a video and it doesn't really perform that exceptionally well, but then months later, the algorithm just randomly does their thing and all of a sudden the video blows up. I'm sure you guys have had this experience of being on YouTube and like this video gets recommended to you from years ago, and then you click on it and there's millions of people like, why was this suddenly getting recommended to me? So You never know. You could have dropped something, you could have done some work years ago, and all of a sudden it's coming back to bring you rewards. And I often see this with the Seven of Pentacles. I often feel called to relay the message when this card comes up, that the universe was always watching you. And the universe was always keeping track of your efforts. Even if you planted your seed and walked away, the universe was still watering it without you having to think about it or put in any more effort. Because like the work had been done, the intention had been set, the seed had been planted. And so the universe was bringing it to fruition, whether you believed it or not. And what else was I going to say here? Oh yes, another example. It could be like maybe some of you guys got a degree years ago and then you never got to get the career in the field that you were studying. And so you were kind of discouraged about all of the work you put in, going to school, getting the degree, passing all of the exams, and like you can't find a job in that field. And then years later, your degree proves to be useful and you get a job in that exact field. Or maybe you got a license or a certification or something like that, and then you never really got a chance to enter into the profession where it would be useful. So you're like, did I waste my time? Did I waste my money? And the universe is like, no, you didn't. Your moment just hadn't come yet. And so what you may have thought was in vain, like efforts that you may have thought were in vain or a waste of time, they're actually going to contribute to your success later. And that's something that I want you guys to keep in mind, is just because your efforts don't bear fruit immediately, it doesn't mean that they're not going to bear fruit ever. And I've seen this for myself, like random videos from the past suddenly becoming successful. You just never know when the plant is going to bloom. But this is a confirmation that the seed has been planted and is being nurtured by the universe this whole time, and it will bloom eventually. Sometimes I like to bring up the analogy of bamboo in situations like this, because I heard that bamboo grows for a really, really long time under the ground, but then once it comes out of the ground, it's like it grows so much within the space of a day. Obviously, we can't see underground, so to us, it just looks like, oh, I guess the bamboo is not growing. But nay. You will see eventually your exponential growth. Well, you don't see it coming, but it is coming. Okay, so let's look now at unexpected event number 2 for you guys. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention at the beginning of this reading, I have been reading the reversals. If you have been keeping up with my videos, thank you, first of all. But you might remember that I've been doing a spiel like, you guys know I don't take reversals, but I feel like doing it today. And ever since then, I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's something to this reversal thing. So we'll see if that sticks. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But anyway, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Then we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. And then the King of Cups. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This can mean so many things. The way I would interpret it generally is like something that has been planned for a very long time, or something that has been sort of set in stone and not changing for a very long time is suddenly changing. So this can be like long-term plans are changing, the life path that you were planning on is changing. There's also a message of like family and traditions and legacy here. So you might be like breaking free and doing something completely different than what the rest of your family has done. This could be you leaving your hometown or even leaving your country. So like completely, I guess you could say, uprooting your life and moving it somewhere else. A complete change of the career that you're in. Could also be a complete change of your daily routine. And maybe it has something to do with this victory here, you know, like you're blowing up and having this victory here, and then all of a sudden your routine becomes much busier, or you have to adjust like your waking and sleeping schedule to do this work. Maybe you actually have to move physically to another place. Could be that some long-standing relationships are changing, like the dynamic is changing. Some people are coming, some people are leaving. Basically with this card, it's things that we've grown accustomed to, things that have been here for a very long time, routines that have been set in stone, things that have been repeating. So I hope you get the idea. It's like your traditions or your habits or your routine or your day-to-day is becoming like uprooted and totally changing. And I feel like for many of you, it's related to this, this victory that we see here. Everything starts to change in your life. But what is really cool, I actually just want to jump over here to the King of Cups first. The King of Cups for me is that you guys are, your intuition is heightening so much. The King of Cups is very intuitive, and actually the Chariot is very intuitive as well. This is water energy, especially Cancer, in case that's a confirmation for you guys. But you can even see on this card how there are all of these hearts here. So the King of Cups is definitely in touch with his emotions. He follows his heart, and he's very in touch with his spirituality. And you could say as the king, he is like a master of his intuition, a master of his spirituality. And this is somebody who really honors the divine plan and really, really honors their spiritual path. And this is you guys. So in general, in our life, when things are changing very, very quickly, when things are being uprooted, when structures are dismantling, when routines are being changed, you know, everything's new and everything is unpredictable, right? And we tend to be afraid of these transitions. We tend to be afraid when things change very quickly because it's a fear of the unknown, right? And so I feel like many people, and maybe even you guys normally, when this 10 of Pentacles in reverse hits, you would feel like the 9 of Swords, which is anxious, worried, scared, worried that the worst is going to happen. Or, you know, what if I have all of this success and then I can't maintain it and I can't live up to it? What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? Like, what if I can't handle the pressure or the change? All of the worries that would normally be in your head, with this card in the reverse, I feel like you're actually able to maintain a sense of calm and confidence through all of this sudden change. And that might be something that surprises you. I think this is the second thing that you guys don't see coming, is in the midst of changes and even some kind of tower moments where like foundations are being removed or changed. It's like you're cool as a cucumber and you're totally confident, totally faithful that everything's going to be fine. And you're like, what? Why am I so oddly calm right now? And it's because you're this King of Cups, very, very connected to your intuition, very connected to your divine guidance. And so you know without a shadow of a doubt, like, this is all meant to be happening and I'm being transported to somewhere much better than where I currently am. And you have like full trust in the universe and it feels so good. And so you're able to maintain not only calm, but like an optimism and a gratitude throughout all of these changes. And you're sure that you'll be able to handle all the changes because you know that the universe wouldn't put in your path something that you are not ready for. If it's happening right now, it's because I'm aligned with it. It's because I'm ready for it. So like, let's go, let's bring it on and see what's going to happen. Something weird that I'm just noticing, well, not weird, interesting. The Chariot and the Six of Wands, which are representing your success, they have the same terrain. Yeah. There's like the sand with the lines in it on the ground. And then there's like a big full moon in the background. So for those of you who are resonating with moving, maybe you're moving somewhere like beachy, somewhere with sand, somewhere with not a lot of light pollution, so that, you know, the moon and the heavenly bodies look really big and beautiful. Even this has lines in the sand. This also reminds me of like Zen gardens, you know, with the rake, and you like rake the lines in the sand and it's very peaceful, beautiful garden. I don't know, maybe that is like significant for somebody, but I just wanted to mention that. There's also a lot of roses in these cards, so that might be a sign for you guys if you see roses, especially like a big patch of roses, that everything's okay and you're on the right path. But I really, really see you guys firmly in that belief. Like, Everything might seem chaotic and going a million miles an hour, but I've been ready, you know? I've planted my seeds, I've been prepared for this, and I'm ready to take it on because I know that the universe is bringing me to my destiny and bringing me to my dreams. So while I think it's like this moment itself that's unexpected and the upheaval, I guess, of your current life and routine that is unexpected, I think also the way you react to it emotionally is going to surprise you. Like, wow, I'm handling this so well. I'm so calm. Especially if you are usually the type to be anxious, the type to wonder about everything that could go wrong, the type to anticipate the worst to happen. You're going to be like completely chill, like no sweat. Yeah. Okay, so for number 3, unexpected change number 3, we have the 7 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Empress. Okay, so we have double Taurus energy here. These are both Taurus. The Empress can also be Libra. So in terms of zodiac signs, we have Cancer, Taurus, Libra, and also just water signs in general. But starting over here with the 7 of Swords, this is a card about deception, like, or not having the truth of the situation or not having all of the information. But the imagery of this card in particular, it's like, it has a very specific message to me because of the, oh my gosh, what is it called? I was going to say crystal moon, which is not what that's called. Because of the crescent moon. Maybe some of you guys would like to keep moonstone around you. This is about reconnecting to your intuition. So the 7 swords, which would normally represent like lies, deception, it's like this person is seeing through the crap that was fed to them and reconnecting to their intuition. And there's the lines in the sand again. I don't know if a lot of cards just have this or if I am just noticing this now or what, but that's very interesting to me. So cutting through the lies, cutting through the deception to see her intuition. And the Hierophant next to this, I feel like this is somebody who's had a lot of authority in your life or a lot of influence in the way that you think. The Hierophant is a mentor. The Hierophant is a teacher, someone who is high up, and he deals with like traditions, traditional ways of thinking, traditional standards. And sometimes I feel like the Hierophant can be kind of preachy. Like, you believe what I say because I said it, not believe what I say because you experienced it and found it to be true for yourself. He can kind of come off this way sometimes. And oh my gosh, look, with the crescent moon that represents your intuition, it's almost like he's being a gatekeeper and standing in the way of you and your intuition, almost blocking you from it. No, you don't need to feel it yourself or experience it yourself. Just listen to what I say. So this could be parents, this could be family, it could be teachers, or the education system in general. That is like, this is what we're teaching you and you should just believe it to be fact, even though the education system can manipulate information or omit information. They're like, this is the truth because we said so. It could just be society in general. But I feel like you are having kind of a rude awakening to some lies that you have been fed in your life, especially when it comes to your potential for success, your potential for abundance, your potential to create the life that you want. I know this is vague because the Hierophant could be so many different people, or it doesn't even have to be a person in specific, right? It can just be like the system, the man, society. But it's like we've been fed these things for so long. Like, you need to go to school for this many years and have a degree to be successful, and the real world works like this, and you have to work very hard and you have to follow this routine. We get fed very, you know, the Hierophant can be kind of like rigid sometimes because he has that traditional and conservative sort of feel to him. It's like realizing that all of that was crap, basically, and that you don't have to subscribe to that. So you might just wake up one day and realize that none of that is true and that your intuition was right this whole time. And if you had entered into this 10 of Pentacles reverse stage still believing in everything the Hierophant says, you would probably be freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, my routine is gone. Oh my gosh, I don't know where I'm going. Oh my gosh, I can't see my long-term plan anymore. Which, like, in the eyes of the Hierophant, he's like, oh, that's failure, because you're supposed to have everything set and you're supposed to, you know? I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I feel like it's a little bit of an abstract concept, but you know, let's say in the process of this, you move away from a job and you're like in between jobs for a while, or you make a really, really big investment or pay a really, really big expense. And the Hierophant would say like, no, you need to have this security and you shouldn't be spending your money that way and it's not wise, and you're staying up at night and sleeping in the day and that's not what you're supposed to do, and you know, the Hierophant's like pushing all of his crap on you. And I feel like for a long time, it's like, yeah, well, that's the rules because the person with authority said that that's how it goes. And you're realizing that that's crap and you're free. Like, you can live your life however you want. You are the freaking Empress. So you can create anything from yourself, and you don't have to change parts of yourself to be the definition of success. You use what comes naturally to you, your natural talents, your natural habits, your natural preferences, your natural style of expression, because she says you are beautiful and perfect and worthy just the way you are. And you don't need an outside authority figure to tell you how to live your life. So you guys are breaking free from this. Another thing could be that somebody you've looked up to who's like, seems like they have it all together, they have such a good head on their shoulders, you might learn some information about them that's like, oh, I guess that's not the case. I'm thinking about like when we have a respected politician and then a scandal comes out about them, or like a celebrity seems to be very progressive and then you find out that they're secretly like very ignorant or bigoted or something like that, or they have some kind of messy past or something. You know, so they have this image of like, oh yes, I'm all put together and I'm all grown up and mature and righteous. And then you realize like, oh, you are messy just like the rest of us. And then you stop feeling like, oh, I need to answer to you, I need to listen to you. Could even be like your parents who have disciplined you so much for being a free spirit and not following the rules. You learned that they were exactly like that when they were younger. So it's like, how are you going to judge me when you were like that as well? Something like this Hierophant is getting dethroned by you finding out the truth. I feel like this part of the reading was kind of rambly, but there's like so many examples that I could think of. So this concludes the tarot section of the reading with the 3 things that you don't see coming. So we're going to move on to the oracle card portion now, which is going to be any additional advice or messages that your spirit guides want you to know. So first, from the Spellcasting oracle, we have talent. Yes. So this victory that you see coming here, it's happening because you guys are very, very talented, and this will bring you up to a position where you can share your talents with the world. I was getting the feeling like a lot of you guys might be creative, you might be artists, but really you can be talented at anything. Here we just see a dancer, so we're seeing it as like the creative arts, the performing arts, but you can be talented in business, you can be talented in finance, you can be talented in science, you can really be talented in anything. What I want to say is that the victory that is coming to you is really going to showcase your natural talents and the ones that make you feel most like you are being yourself. So it's not just like I'm good at it, it's like this is me. This is me. This is how I express myself. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I've always wanted to be known for. This is the type of victory that is coming to you here with the Chariot and the 6 of Wands. From the Celestial Bodies deck, we have the Moon. There is very strong moon imagery. Obviously, this is the Moonchild Tarot, so it makes sense that there be moons in a lot of cards, but look at these as well. We have the big moon here, and then you have the moon card coming out. So you guys might want to work with the moon to manifest your dreams. So setting new intentions and planting new seeds at the new moon, releasing heavy energy, releasing negative thoughts, releasing baggage, old habits that don't serve you anymore during the full moon. You may even want to work with a moon deity to help manifest your desires. But with this moon, some of you guys during this transition, you may be feeling particularly sleepy or particularly emotional, particularly sensitive. I'm thinking of the way that you feel during a full moon. It's like your emotions are running very, very high. That's probably just because your soul is very excited, your divine team is very excited, and so there's a lot of energy running through you, which can kind of overheat or overwork the physical body. I feel like sometimes our physical body cannot compute all of the spiritual energy that is running through us. So when your soul is excited, when your spirit guides are excited, or like they're funneling a lot of information to you, it can tire you out. And when a human body is tired, she gets a little bit cranky and she gets a little bit emotional. So give yourself patience and give yourself kindness and give yourself grace and gentleness as you go through this transition. And what else? I feel like this next chapter of your life is going to be one where you are very freely expressing how you feel, and you're letting your emotions guide you. Some of you guys might want to work on getting in touch with your divine feminine energy if you haven't already. I would suggest like meditating. Oh my God, my ears are ringing. Meditating with the intention of connecting to your divine feminine side, whether that's a guided meditation, something that you listen to on YouTube, or whether you want to just sit in silence and set the intention. Get in touch with your divine feminine energy. I'm actually going to link an article. I'll do it in the description because I just stumbled across this article, I think it was last year, explaining about the divine feminine and how to awaken it. And it just really stuck with me. I thought it was very well written, explained the divine feminine very well. So I'm going to include that link for those of you who are interested in awakening that side of you. But it's going to help you to be receptive, meaning it's going to help you to receive your blessings. It's going to help you to be open and flexible to the way things occur in your life. It's going to help you to feel more confident in expressing your emotions, as well as being okay with like sitting with your emotions, identifying them, letting them exist, allowing yourself to feel them, and not immediately like trying to pick them apart or dismiss them. It's also going to strengthen your intuition and your psychic abilities. So connecting to that moon, feminine, spiritual energy. I think I said something about moonstone earlier. If you guys are able to get your hands on moonstone, I would very much recommend it. And I think in the Lenormand oracle cards, if you call them oracle cards, the moon represents like your public image or your reputation or the way people see you. So this could be a confirmation of you guys becoming a little bit famous. Okay, so your next oracle card, the Soul's Journey lesson cards, is Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. And this is exactly what we saw here with the King of Cups. When things are changing, when things are being knocked down and the ground is shifting under you, you're not scared. This is what I really see. You're not scared because you don't need to know everything. You know that you're being taken somewhere good. You know that your guides are leading you and your higher self is leading you to your greatest happiness. And so you have no reason to doubt them. You are so faithful to where your soul is taking you that you don't need to know all the answers. This is like forming a deep trust with yourself and a deep trust with your soul. And then our Crystal Angels Oracle card, look, gold, divine intervention. God sends miracles to answer sincere prayers. Oh my gosh, I feel like this doesn't even need that much interpretation. Your prayers are being answered. Miracles are coming to you. Your big break, your moment of victory is coming. This gold can be an indicator of material abundance coming to you, as well as a strengthened solar plexus with this yellowy gold color. So that means confidence, that means self-expression, that means proudly going after what you want and feeling like you deserve a place in the world, like you deserve a place doing what you're doing. Okay, so to finish off the reading, we are going to take some tea leaf fortune cards to see what your final messages are from your spirit guides. Ooh. Oh my gosh, okay. How many is that? Like a big chunk fell out all at once. 1, 2, 3, 6, that's not bad. So pin, new job and career. Cat, a two-faced friend. So maybe this is the Hierophant who's like telling you to do one thing, but their actions, past or present, say different. Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I do feel this is something that you guys are coming out of, because what this image looks like to me is like you've put all of this effort into the funnel, but the opening at the bottom is small. So like you dumped all of this effort into something and then it's taking a really long time to go through. So you might be frustrated, but trust that all of it is going to come through in the end. Rabbit. So this says too much concern with sexual matters, which I don't know if that resonates with you, please feel free to take it. But I generally see the rabbit as a sign of fertility because they reproduce and multiply very quickly, as well as things speeding up in your life. And I feel like that really reflects messages that we've already seen here. But yes, if you feel like you guys are overly concerned with sexual matters or overly concerned with material matters, overly concerned with a relationship or a love interest, or it could even be like your physical appearance, if I interpret that a little bit more loosely, your guides are saying in a very nice and loving way to cut that out. Tankard, I don't even know what a tankard is, but it says celebration, fun, and enjoyment. We love that for you. And desk, pay attention to your work. So definitely something happening with your career here. All right, so those are all of the messages that I see for you guys. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Serpentfire Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about what you don't see coming, whether it be a major life change, a blessing, or something that you need to look out for. We are going to get to the bottom of it in this reading, and we're also going to get some advice for you from your spirit guides about how you can prepare for these changes, or just any general messages that they would like you to know about. So at the start of this reading, we're going to take a look at these tarot cards and find 3 things that you don't see coming, and then we will move on to the messages and advice part. And I am going to be taking the reversals in today's reading. You guys might know I've kind of been trying out taking the reversals in the past couple of readings that I've done, which is something that I usually don't do, but I've been enjoying it, so I thought I would do it again today, and we'll see how that goes. So let's get right into it, starting with the first thing that you guys don't see coming. We have the Queen of Swords, the Hanged Man, and Justice. Okay, so the Queen of Swords for me is somebody who has acted from their mind rather than from their heart. And often we see her clearing away things that do not serve her. She can come off as a little bit harsh and cold sometimes. And this is giving me the feeling of some connection that was cut off, some separation, some contact that was stopped. I don't know if you are the one who cut off this connection or if it was the other person. But what I'm seeing here with the Hanged Man, and maybe this is something that you guys don't see, is that the other party is still very hung up on you. The other party still thinks about you a lot and feels like they cannot move on, because with the Hanged Man, this is literally somebody who is stuck, who cannot move forward, who is staying where they are. And generally, the reason the Hanged Man is stuck here is because there's some lesson he's supposed to learn, or there is some different perspective that he's supposed to see in this situation. So this person might feel like they have some unfinished business with you. There were a lot of things left up in the air. There were still a lot of things that they wanted to know and that they wanted to clear up with you. And just deep down on an intuitive level, they feel like it's not done with you, that there's still something to learn, there's still something to experience. This person probably thinks about you a lot and even misses you. And this can be a romantic situation. It can also be platonic. It could even be a family member, but I sense that it's somebody you're no longer in contact with, or you're either in very minimal contact, or the dynamic just isn't the same. And this person is like hung up on what could have been or what used to be with you, and they haven't moved on from you. Maybe because there's no contact from them on their end, you think like they don't care anymore, they've moved on, they don't think about me, they don't regret what happened or what they did or anything like that. But this person is very much thinking about the past with you. And I think this unexpected event that you guys don't see coming is that this person will make an entrance back into your life, and they will try to restore the peace with this Justice card. Justice is all about bringing back balance and bringing back harmony. So if something went wrong with this person, they will try to make it right. They will likely come in and apologize and explain themselves and convey to you everything that they wished this connection would be, or that they still wish that it can be in the future. And justice is also about the truth coming out. So if on your end you have any like, I just want to know how this person felt, I just want to know why they did this, I just want to know what the point of all of this was, those truths will come out. You will get your answers. And of course, it will be up to you guys. Like, this is a general reading, so there may be some of you who it's like, you know, I don't want to continue a connection with this person, but I just want an explanation. I want my apology and I want closure. For some of you, it will be that you do want a reunion with this person. And then of course you are free to choose that when they return into your life. For others of you, you may not even want anything to do with this person, and you may choose to ignore the offer or the contact that they extend to you. It will be entirely up to you how you choose to deal with this situation. But I think that communication from this person might be a bit unexpected, because you guys might be thinking that they've already like moved on from you ages ago, that they don't care anymore, that they're not thinking about you, but they have really been reflecting on what happened. And I think the reason that they haven't reached out up until now is because they've been intimidated by you. I often see the Queen of Swords as somebody who can be a little bit scary and intimidating. So maybe they think that you are, you know, very upset with them, which you might be, but that is kind of scaring them away from coming forward, because they know that they're wrong, and they know that you could really let them have it if you wanted to. And they know that, you know, if you call them out, you will be speaking truth, and maybe they're still a little bit afraid to face that. But it's definitely not that this person has moved on. They're still here hanging. They likely, with this Justice card, still see you as a counterpart or as their perfect match, or, you know, somebody they want in their life, because this is Libra energy, which is related to the 7th house of partnerships and relationships. With the Hanged Man here, this is Pisces energy. So either this person is dreaming about you a lot, or when they're intoxicated, if they do like use substances, they might like think about you a lot when they are like drunk or high or something like that, when their mind is wandering and when their subconscious is emerging. Because this 12th house energy that is related to Pisces, it can sort of bring up our suppressed subconscious thoughts. It can really get us in our feelings. So I feel like that's where this person is at with you. They feel there's a lot of unfinished business. And regardless, even if it was them who walked away, it's like they're regretting it, and they are going to come back. Again, completely up to you. If you just want closure, if you want a reunion, or if you want nothing, that will totally be up to you. But just know that this is coming to you in the near future. We do have, like I said, Libra and Pisces energy here. The Queen of Swords would just be air signs in general. So we also have Gemini and Aquarius, just in case that gives you a hint on who it could be. But they certainly don't have to be those signs. You could just take that as a confirmation if you suspected who this might be. So for the second thing that you guys don't see coming, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which this is the card that I used in the intro for you guys to pick the deck. So it's funny that she's coming out again. The Seven of Cups and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, the feeling that I'm getting with the Wheel of Fortune is that a manifestation is coming to you. And this is something you've been wishing really hard for. This is likely one of your big dreams or something you care about a lot. It could be the fact that it's manifesting that is unexpected to you. Like maybe deep down you had some doubts if it was really gonna come. Or it could be the way that it's coming is unexpected, or the timing. Like you did not expect this to manifest so soon, so suddenly, or so powerfully. And this one is a little bit of, I don't know if I would call it a warning message, but it's a little bit of a heads up for you guys. So when I look at the Seven of Cups here, and it's interesting because this person is looking towards the wheel turning, this can be like feelings of confusion, feelings of, what would you call it, overwhelmment. That's not a word, but feelings of being overwhelmed. And I am being reminded of the Seven of Cups in the Angel Tarot deck, which says a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. And so what I'm seeing here is like, yes, you guys have been really wishing for this thing to happen, but what your guides are saying is that maybe you are kind of lacking in preparation. And that might be, it might just be good old slacking, but it might also be that part of you didn't really think this was going to happen. So you didn't really bother to prepare. If I can give an example, let's say it's like your dream, your biggest dream to move to a certain country, but you don't really see how that could happen. Suddenly an opportunity pops up for you to go there, and then it's like, oh crap, I didn't learn the language, I didn't look up the visa requirements, I didn't figure out where I'm gonna stay, all of these things that you could have been preparing for in the meantime, whether it was just like you were procrastinating, you lost track of time, you were busy, or you didn't really believe that this day would ever come. So then when it comes, you're like, oh crap, and you're overwhelmed and you're running around like a chicken trying to get all of your ducks in a row before you depart. Or like you dreamed and dream of getting an interview with a specific company, and then it actually happens, but you haven't even thought of what you're gonna say at the interview. You haven't thought of what you're gonna wear. You haven't updated your resume. It's like you gotta get those preparations going. That's what they're saying with this Seven of Cups. Maybe it even relates to this for some of you, like you've been wanting this person to reach out to you, but you haven't even thought about like what you want to say to them. So it's like, start preparing now, like at the time that you are watching this reading, because your manifestation might come sooner than you expect, and it might come in a different way than you expected. And especially with this King of Pentacles in reverse here, like, he's somebody who is very practical, he's very prepared, like he's ready to go for it. And I feel like you guys haven't really like laid down the framework or done the research that you need to do for this. For some of you guys, it could be that you need to start saving money, like especially if it's a travel opportunity or an education opportunity or something like that. You would definitely need funds for that. You need to start saving. You need to figure out like your accommodations, or you need to start researching and getting advice from people. Because the King of Pentacles could also be, somebody who's been through what you've been through, who has the experience, and they're going to like support you on your journey, to start seeking out people who have done what you want to do and see what they say, ask around, get the tips that you need. Start doing that now. And it may seem like it may seem counterintuitive for you guys, like why would I start planning for this when I don't even know if it's going to happen yet? But it's better safe than sorry, and you would rather be prepared when this Wheel of Fortune starts turning, because if this big opportunity is handed to you and you have like no idea where you're even going to start, then you're going to be a little bit stressed. You're going to be a little bit anxious. So get ready as much as you can now. Do the research that you need to do. Even if it's all like hypothetical. If I lived in that country, I would, you know, book an apartment through this real estate company, and I would get my cell phone from this carrier. Like, start to plan like what you will bring, you know? That's what I'm seeing here. This is what you don't see coming. Your manifestation is coming sooner or in a different way. So, you know, get ready for it. For number 3, oh, did I already turn them over? I turned them over when I was talking and I didn't even notice. All right, so we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. We have the Star in the upright and the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. Okay, yeah, so there's like really clear messages here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Star of a big dream coming true for you guys. And especially with the Star, it's like a dream that, whoa. When you look at this, I don't know if it works through a camera. Maybe it does. But when you look at this spiral here, it looks like it's moving. At least when you look in person, it looks like the spirals are turning. Woo, okay, that's making me dizzy. Especially with the Star, this is like a dream that once seemed distant, or a dream that seemed too good to be true, and it's like actually happening. Like your dream future is actually opening its arms to you. So with the 7 of Wands, this is a card that represents difficulties, challenges, barriers, obstacles that you have to work quite hard to overcome. So with this in the reverse, this is showing me what you don't see coming is that a lot of your blockages are being removed when it comes to manifesting what you want. So, you know, I want to manifest XYZ, but I don't have enough money. And then boom, you get the money from somewhere. Or I don't know where to start. Boom, somebody comes into your life who's done it before and has all the advice for you. So the universe is working to remove your blockages. And I really feel for you guys that you're going to start to see this happening very, very soon. I feel called to say 7 weeks with this 7 of Wands card from whenever you happen to be watching. Things are really going to start picking up, and you're going to start to be able to see this bright future ahead of you. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles here. This represents a new beginning, and especially one that is going to bring more abundance into your life or more opportunities into your life. So the universe is really going to start bringing in those professional or educational opportunities for you. Some of you guys are building a new home as well. Like I just pictured you guys like you're making your new nest. You're settling down where you want to settle down, and you're creating like a nice little life with your home and all your decorations and the places that you frequent. Like you're setting up a new life for yourself, you know? Almost as if like you were your own sim. You're your own sim. You know, sometimes when you make yourselves on The Sims, and you make yourself look how you look, and then you build the house that you want, and you build the relationships that you want. That's like what this new chapter for you guys is going to be like. It's a chance to start fresh and build things from the ground up exactly the way that you like, where you like, with whom you like. Building and crafting your life based on what you want to manifest. So those blockages are being removed very, very soon. I do have to point out that the Star is a card I associate with twin flames and divine counterparts. So if you guys are on that journey, then it may be that the blockages to your union are being removed. Maybe this person who we saw up here, for some of you, it's going to be your twin flame or your divine counterpart. Things like, you know, the lack of communication, that will be removed. If there's physical distance, that is going to be removed. If there's like barriers in your beliefs or your background or your culture or your language or whatever it is, those bridges are going to be crossed, and the universe is going to show you a way to cross them so that you can see the way to your dream future. And what Spirit is offering you is a future that you can count on. okay? So the opportunities and offers that are coming to you, I want you guys to know that these are not empty promises. These are not things that are going to, you know, stick around for a short time and then fall back apart again, because the Ace of Pentacles is like consistent, reliable, sustainable, stable. In this new chapter, you're really building a solid foundation to your dreams. Anybody who offers you things during this time, it's going to be real and genuine, and the words will be backed up. So, you know, the chapter of like empty words, empty promises, building things up only for them to fall apart, I feel like this is a thing of the past for you guys, because with this new chapter, we have stability and something you can count on. So the advice for you guys is to start preparing. Even if these dreams seem so wild and far away, start preparing for them as if they're actually going to come, so that you know exactly what to do, how to act, where to go when they do come. It might feel like you're preparing for something that doesn't exist, but it will exist very, very soon for you guys. Okay, so this concludes the tarot part of the reading with what you don't see coming. So now we're going to move on to our oracle cards and see if there's any other advice that your spirit guides want to give you, or any other messages that they want you to know. So from the spellcasting. Oh, I'm just doing such a bad job at remembering the names of the decks today. From Spellcasting Oracle cards, we have Empowerment. This gives me really, really strong vibes of you guys manifesting exactly the future that you want. This also gives me a feeling of independence, like becoming financially independent, being free to go wherever you want, making empowered decisions based on what is best for you. And that's going to be different for everybody, but you're no longer making decisions like for survival, you know? You're no longer choosing things because you have no choice, or you're no longer choosing things out of fear. Like if I don't take this, I'm gonna have lack in my life. If I don't take this, people are gonna think negatively of me. You're taking things because they are a fit for you and a fit for the future that you see yourself in. It's all based on like, what can you do for me? How is this gonna work and make sense for me? And not like, oh, I have to do this for you, and I have to care about all these people around me and what they're saying. This is like Emperor energy, this empowerment. Like, you're confident, you're living for you, you're strong, you really believe in the choices you're making, so you're not doubting or second guessing yourself anymore. You're like, yes, this is what I want. So you're saying like really resounding confident yeses and really resounding confident nos. And finally, maybe for the first time in a long time for some of you guys, or for the first time ever, you feel like you can control your destiny. And that it's really up to you what you have in your life and what you don't have in your life. It's no longer like this passive, life is just happening to me and I have to take what I can get. You are choosing and you're making it happen. This is wonderful. And your spirit guides will really be with you during this time to help you feel empowered and help you feel like the boss and the leader of your own life. From your Celestial Bodies Oracle deck, we have water. So there could be an important water sign in your life, which is, oh, and we got Pisces before as well. We have Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer here. And actually, let me just look at the other signs. So we have Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, especially Pisces. We have air signs as well, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, especially Libra and Aquarius. And we also have earth signs here. That is a lot. I'll admit that is a lot, but just in case it's a confirmation for you guys, especially Pisces, Libra, and Aquarius. Yes? So water is an element that connects us to our emotions and that connects us to our intuition. I do think that you'll be moving into a chapter of your life where you're very strongly, like, always checking in with your feelings. And this is something that we often forget to do. I feel like at first we train ourselves not to. When we are made to feel like our feelings are not important or that we have to suppress them so that we can survive and get on with our life, we tend to kind of lose touch with them until it becomes an unconscious thing. Like we're literally forgetting how we feel or forgetting to check in on how we feel. And when you're in an empowered place, you're constantly checking in. Like, how does this make me feel? Does this make me feel good, or does this make me feel like crap? And if it makes me feel good, I will choose it. If it makes me feel bad, I will not choose it. So this is you guys living from your emotions, living from your intuition, and also feeling empowered when you express your emotions, not feeling weak, not feeling scared. Maybe you will feel vulnerable, but there's even empowerment in that vulnerability. Like you are strong and you're brave to show your emotions, and they're not going to go unnoticed, and they're not going to go unaddressed anymore. I feel like you guys, your intuition will be heightening a lot as well. I do get the feeling that you guys who chose this group, you have some important like divine counterpart. It could be a twin flame if you guys resonate with that journey. And as you get closer to union, your psychic abilities are going to like go through the roof. And in fact, this empowerment, your journey to empowerment, I feel like is supported by this person, whether it's in the 3D or just in spirit. It's like their higher self is helping you to live your best life, to be empowered, to believe in yourself, to prioritize yourself. Your higher selves are working together to reach this place of empowerment. From the soul journey lesson cards, we have success. So definitely success is coming to you guys. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So there is some love union coming for you guys. I definitely feel this. And what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an 8-pointed star in the middle. So this matches with the star card that we got. The future that seems too good to be true, you will successfully manifest it. And this is even more confirmation that you guys will be doing something you love in the world, because this tells us that your version of success is being emotionally fulfilled and doing something that you love to do. Definitely you will have that material abundance with the Ace of Pentacles here, but that's not how you guys are going to measure your success. Maybe this will be a shift for you guys if you have really been striving to prove yourself materially or prove yourself with status. I feel like in this next chapter of your life, those things are not going to matter to you. And what makes you successful is that you're doing something you love, and also that you are bettering the world or bettering humanity, because that's another meaning of the star. The star is the humanitarian. The star is the light worker. The star is the person who sees everybody as equal and wants to make the world a better place through what they do and raise the vibration of the earth. This is how you're going to start measuring your success. And then with your Crystal Angels Oracle card, we have Larimar. I freaking love this stone. I actually got a Larimar pendant recently. It's so, so, so beautiful. It actually looks a lot like water, like the surface of the sea. If you guys have never seen Larimar before, I would highly suggest you to look it up, because it's just so beautiful. I think it's one of my favorite stones. Yes, sensitive emotions. Yes, with water. Times of heightened emotions and sensitivity call for extra self-care and gentleness. I feel like in this next chapter of your life, there's no more like pushing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. There's no more forcing yourself to do things that go against your intuition or go against your boundaries or your inner compass. There's no more feeling guilty for having strong emotions, feeling guilty for wanting to rest or for wanting to say no. There's no more of that. Your emotions are your most accurate compass for where you should go in life, and you're really going to start valuing that. So when they tell you to go for something and get excited about something and hope for something, you're going to do it. And at the same time, when they tell you to slow down, when they tell you to rest, when they tell you to cry, you're going to do that too. That is how you are empowered. I feel like empowerment is not just about like climbing to the top and being strong and powerful in the sense that we see it in our society. It's not just about having like status and money and influence. It's about being in charge of yourself, and it's about validating every aspect of yourself. This is your version of empowerment. So Sometimes you're gonna feel like the super go-getter, confident being, and other times you're gonna feel like a sensitive little chocolate chip cookie, and you're gonna allow yourself to be both, and that is your most empowered self. I hope that that made sense. All right, so now we are gonna go to the tea leaf oracle cards to finish off this reading and see what the final messages are for you. So we have Finger, warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. Camel, persevere and you will overcome problems. Okay, so any problems that are coming to you guys in the near future, know that you will overcome them. And we have Hat, you will be playing a different role. We also have at the bottom of the deck Tower. This is much different, I think, from the Tower in Tarot. It says solid foundation, success with effort. So if I put these together, I feel like in the near future, maybe in the next week or two, there will be kind of a hiccup in one of your plans, something goes wrong, but you have planted a solid foundation in this situation, so this problem is not going to destroy anything. Just for an example, like let's say you get into an argument with somebody and this Tower is saying like, oh my gosh, it will be fine. It's not going to be like the end of this friendship or the end of this relationship, because you guys have such a solid foundation together. You have such a strong bond. So you just need to hang in there and everything will blow over eventually. Keep this in mind for the next 2 weeks. If any inconveniences or stressful problems pop up, know that it's nothing that is going to destroy what you're working on, because the foundation is very good. And just with time, everything is going to resolve itself. I actually do want to get a clarifier for the Hat card. You will be playing a different role in what? Wealth. Oh, okay. So maybe you guys will have a career change coming up soon. You'll be playing a different role. You'll be doing something differently in how you make money. You could even be starting like a side hustle or starting to monetize a hobby or something like that. Taking on a second job. Yeah. Playing a different role in how you accumulate wealth. All right, so these are all the messages that I see for you guys, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.